Here are 4 secrets to create an addictive video. The secrets I'm about to share, you are never going to hear it anywhere, especially in this fashion. Majority of people focus on the end product, which is monetization. Majority of people create content solely for money, which is not a problem if you're at least open about it. However, what you mistake is that life is cause and effect. If you create an addictive video, the end product is monetization. So instead of trying to create videos solely for monetization, create addictive videos that will then produce monetization. Does that make sense? So the first secret is something I used to retain you up until this point. The hook. The hook is very important. Individuals decide within the first 5 seconds whether or not they would continue listening to you. So that first 5 seconds has to be captivating. Notice my choice of words, secrets. When you use words like that, it triggers something in the brain. Every single person wants to be let in on a secret, let alone a secret that benefits you. So when I say secret, it captivates you. You lean in. The hook is very important. The hook, the first 5 seconds, how you present the video is very important, which leads me to number 2, your appearance. This might sound cliche. This is something people mistake all the time. You need to embody your content. Now, I'm not saying you live a false life or try to fake your living in order to attract followers. It's a different discourse in and of itself. My friend, it is cheaper to be authentic. This life of stopping in an estate and once your friends have moved 2 miles, you take a bus back to your initial bus stop. That kind of life of falsehood is very expensive. So it is cheaper to be authentic. However, what I propose is to embody your character. For instance, if I said, I'm going to teach you how to be fit, how to put on muscles, would you listen? Exactly. Because we as humans, I don't want to say we as humans, you humans, you defer to professionals. You defer to someone who has results in the desired fare. For instance, Buffett comes along. Kids, every single person should dollar cost average $100 monthly, and by retirement age, you will become a millionaire. And we are all taking notes. The same advice as a college professor, but nobody listens because he's fucking broke. On your wedding day, who do you want to be your stylist? The guy who has been doing this for 10 years, or the one who just graduated beauty school? Exactly. Now, although you do not know the temperaments of both individuals, irregardless, you would always go for the competent guy. Why is that the case? It's ingrained in your biology. So appearance matters. You need to embody your character. Take comedians, for instance. Have you ever seen a guy playing the role of a madman dressed up in a suit? He might be able to perfect the act, but he will be way more efficient if he dressed up like the character. So appearance is very important as touching whatever video you are creating, which leads to number 3, consistency. This is where most people fall off. This is where the distinguishing factor between men and boys, regardless of the debilitating results, 2 views, 0 views, just keep posting. One day, YouTube will recognize your efforts, and it just take one video. You just need one video for your content to take off. And once that happens, the previous videos that you felt like no one was engaging in begins to profit. Because once someone likes your content, The initial response is to rewatch all your old videos. In fact, there are fans who are so engaged in what you do. They take it upon themselves to meticulously and religiously follow your videos from old to new. So consistency matters. In fact, you're never going to get engagement if you don't post. It's through your posts someone sees the video, he enjoys it. That's how he follows. That's how he subscribes. If you're not posting, it's impossible for you to attain that kind of result. And the final one, listen very carefully. Because everything in this life is to what degree. People like to flaunt virtues. I don't care about people's opinions, my friend. The real question is to what degree do you not care about people's opinions? Alright, you do not care about people's opinions. Why don't you walk naked through the hallway? Well, I can't. Why? My dignity. But you would agree with me that you need an external force to appraise your dignity. And in fact, the only reason you preserve integrity is as a consequence to gravitate people who are congenial to your space. Humans do not do anything, or humans will not engage in endless suffering, endless debilitating efforts if there was no some kind of result at the end. A person is willing to turn down a $20 million check. At the end of it, first is a story. Second is something that I can go to bed at night knowing that he did the right thing. Thirdly, and most importantly, is establishing credibility with the public as an integrous man, and that virtue is rewarded heavily by society. I was speaking on this topic with a friend, and I used this analogy. I asked him a question. I said, you and I both work 10 hours daily, correct? Obviously. So if there was a possibility for you to work 2 hours and work and receive the same effort, receive the same results as a 10-hour man, would you still work 10 hours? Exactly. He posed the same question at me, and I said, yes, I will still work 10 hours. Now I have 20 times the result. Some people are just built different. But the point I'm trying to highlight is that we engage in untold amount of suffering, especially men, because there is a reward at the end. If you go to the gym, be consistent, eat healthy, regardless if you're motivated or not. If there was no recompense in the form of big muscles, would you still go? Would you still engage yourself in that discipline? Hell no. So when you sit down there and pretend as though you do not care about people's opinion, it is flawed. How did we get here? The fourth point is controversy. Always learn how to put controversy in your discourse. For instance, I say women are dumb. Of course, I do not truly mean that. Now, do I mean it? Yes. And someone will go in the comment section, someone who believes he's too smart, and be like, no, if women are, they should be. And as you know, every comment is signaling to the algorithm that this video is very engaging. And like with the analogy I gave, to what degree? You need a degree of engagement to set you financially free, which is the end product of most of you. Perhaps we'll redo this video in the future because there are a lot of things I still want to cover. It's getting late, running out of sunlight. But we'll end it here. As always, my friends, it's a pleasure speaking to you. See you in the next one.